Good afternoon. Welcome to Lift Every Voice. This is a finale event to our focus on Black History Month and celebrating Black joy, Black excellence, and just hope in general. So thank you. Thank you for coming and being a part of this. Throughout this afternoon, we are just blessed to be able to highlight local talent, all from the Treasure Valley. You will see step dance, you will see traditional African dance, you will hear beautifully composed songs by Black artists, just an afternoon of celebration. Before we start, I would just like to let you know, we do have restrooms located out in the atrium area where you just came in from, as well as in the back. So if you need any of that will happen. But then afterwards, we'd love for you to stick around. We have some refreshments, and then we also have local artists that have some beautiful artwork and clothing items and things like that to take a look at as well. So our focus begins this afternoon with something that is dear to Ryan and I's hearts, a bit of Black history that focuses on spirituals. So join us as we open Lift Every Voice.
For more than 2 centuries, African American churches have served as a means of inspiration and hope, which emphasize the meaning of individual transformation. Even when the prevailing notions of the country didn't advocate for fair treatment of African Americans, Black theologies discussed the liberation of the marginalized and the injustices visited upon Blacks in America. The late Charles Lincoln, a Duke University professor and a leading scholar in the Black religion, argued that Blacks brought their religion with them from Africa, and that later, in his words, they accepted the white man's religion, and they haven't always practiced it the white man's way. In the late 1700s, Blacks worshipped in the same building with whites, but separately, many times in the balcony of the church or wherever they could congregate.
As long as there were people, there was church. When you enter someone's home and gathered at the table, communion was every time you do this in remembrance of me. The actual partaking and choosing to worship no matter where you are is a part of the freedom that we claim.
Even though slavery was a dominant force or the controlling force in their lives, that through singing they could be transported beyond that immediate experience into a realm that allowed them to envision themselves as free. They did not simply acquiesce or adapt Christianity without incorporating their own sense of what Christianity meant.
Because many enslaved African Americans were barred from formal education, they used spirituals to communicate with one another. For example, a spiritual like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot was used along the Underground Railroad to help transport people out of bondage to the north.
The music could be used as a way of communicating among other slaves. For example, the time or the place for a slave to run away, to get away from the plantation, to remove themselves from the slavery and bondage. There is one spiritual, Run, Mary, Run, I say, you've got a right to the tree of life, that fits into that category. Tonight is the night where you need to steal away, where you need to get away, and there will be assistance for you to help you to move out of this context, to find a better life, to find a better way.
It became the Black man's purpose to shape, fashion, and recreate the religion offered to him by the Christian slave master and remold it. Through the early Civil War, Jim Crow laws, and civil rights movements, Blacks depended on leaders and their spirituality to find inspiration in stories of deliverance.
Blacks chose to remove themselves from that context so that they could be free to define who they were and define their own relationship to God, their own relationship to each other without the political and social encumbrances that they were experiencing when they initially were seeking to worship with whites. That continues to be sustained today.
Many traditions continue in the Black church today, but many of the same spiritual traditions have lived in the Black church for centuries.
So the spiritual became a way that African Americans could talk about who they were, talk about who they could be despite what their particular circumstances were. The musical expression of the spirituals was one way of articulating that.
For more than 2 centuries, African American churches have served as a means of inspiration.
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to be with you all. This first set will feature Negro spirituals. And as you heard a little bit, I think my wife described it just a little bit too, I am personally deeply passionate about the importance of making sure that these songs and these stories are told. The next 2 songs are actually arrangements from an African American composer by the name of Moses Hogan. I did not have the honor of meeting him in person. However, when I was in college, he assisted me in my senior recital in helping me curate music by other African American composers. And he specifically wrote these 2 songs and this collection that these 2 came out of, specifically for students like myself who had a desire and a passion to learn more about spirituals and about their meanings and about their stories. And so I am pleased to sing Give Me Jesus and Deep River. In the morning when I Jesus, you may have all of this world. Give me Jesus. Nobody but Jesus. Oh, you may have all of this world. Give me Jesus. As many of you know, spirituals always had double meanings. On the one hand, they spoke of the promise, and the freedom, and the liberation that comes through knowing Jesus Christ. On the other, it also pointed to freedom and liberation geographically. And when you think about songs like Deep River, it speaks about the River Jordan, but it's also speaking about finding freedom on the other side of the river, and maybe a couple of rivers specifically. The Mississippi River, if you wanted to gain freedom headed west, or the Ohio River, if you wanted to find freedom in the north. And ultimately, there was a third, I don't know if I can say option for freedom, but there was this understanding that if you choose to seek freedom physically and geographically, it is possible that you could gain freedom through death because of how dangerous the rivers were, right? The rivers that we know today were not the rivers back then. And so we sing this song, Deep River, with the reminder of hope and with the reminder of the promise that there is freedom on the other side. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Oh, don't you want to go to that gospel I'm gonna sing one more if that's okay, and then I've got to get out of the way because you don't want to miss all the other fun things that are happening. Part of this evening is celebrating all the different forms of music that have come from the Black community. And so yes, we begin with spirituals, but as the evening progresses, we'll move on to many different other forms of music as well. This next piece is actually written by Eugene Moore, who is an African-American composer. My friend Jessica Harned, she's going to come up here in a few minutes, and she's also going to share some other classical settings by African-American composers as well. And as you'll hear, there's a video shortly that talks about how there was a little bit of an erasure that happened back in the 40s and the 50s, where you didn't see classical composers of color. And so we've spent a good chunk of the last 40 years curating and cultivating and discovering a treasure trove of beautiful settings. And so this song is entitled Love Let the Wind Cry. And before I sing, would you please help me welcome our accompanist this evening, Miss Becky Nilsson. The dark mountain, bending the ash tree, the tall hemlock, with a great voice of thunderous legions. How I adore thee. Let the hoarse torrent in the blue canyon, murmuring mightily out of the gray mist of primal chaos, cease not proclaiming how I adore thee. Let the long rhythm of crunching rollers breaking and bursting on the wide seaboard tighten and tireless, tell how the world stands, how I adore thee. Love, let the clear call of the tree cricket, frailest of creatures, green as the young grass, mark with its thrilling resonant bell note how I adore thee. But more than all sound, surer, serener, fuller of passion and exaltation, let the hushed whisper in thine own heart say, how I adore thee. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage a phenomenal musician. She is a part of the Boise Philharmonic, and she is, if I remember correctly, she grew up right here in Nampa. Is that right? Please welcome to the stage Ms. Jessica Harned.
so happy to be here today, sharing with you some music that I really love. Today I'll be performing two selections for you written by the composer Florence Price. Since today is a celebration of our heritage, I wanted to share the joy that I have experienced having access to music by this amazing composer, and how much of a miracle it is that we are able to play this music for you today, as it was discovered only a few years ago under the floorboards in an abandoned summer home. Now, Florence Price lived from 1887 to 1953. She began her musical training in a black public school in Little Rock, Arkansas, and she eventually went on to attend a New England conservatory. She was able to secure her attendance by passing due to her light skin, and to ensure acceptance into conservatory, her mother put on her hometown as Pueblo, New Mexico. Now, Price was a published and paid composer even before college, but her experience and study with George Chadwick at conservatory allowed her enough support and education to become a major composer, and one of the first women composers who had their symphony or works performed by a professional symphony, the Boston Symphony. Her success seems to have come from clever parents who moved away from Arkansas when lynchings became a standard in middle-class neighborhoods. Their unfortunate need to utilize her lightness of skin to protect her educational future, and extremely good teachers whose work was influenced similarly to Price, and they advocated for her skills. So let me play for you first a piece by her called The Deserted Garden. This piece was written for students, and is this beautiful, simple work inspired by the spiritual. Now, as you probably understood from the melody within this work, Price utilized Black rhythm and melody brought through America through slavery, intermingling it with romantic European tradition. Florence was inspired by her people. She was not one to quote folk work like many American nationalists did during her time, but rather she utilized musical traits of Black culture and merged them into her classical leanings. I feel so grateful to have been able to perform for you today and to be a part of this event. So this last piece for you is entitled Adoration, and I hope you enjoy.
Are you having fun? Good. So, part of this evening as well is to show you a variety of artistic expressions. And so, in the lobby, we encourage you to stop by. There are several tables of people who have shared in their gift of painting and drawing. And so we would love for you to stop by, take a look at them. I believe some of them are for sale, and so you want to do that. And so, but also too, we wanted to invite people to share in spoken word and through poetry. When we think about the history of the Black community, obviously there was a point in the journey of this community where reading and writing was not a luxury. In fact, it was withheld from the community. And so we fast forward and we get to celebrate how the word flows through individuals. And so this first young lady I got a chance to hear her recently at a Martin Luther King celebration. And so will you please welcome Ms. Dawn Yantek.
Hello. Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, and without him, I would be unable to stand in front of you today. That is something that my mother, when I started reading poetry and reciting poetry as a little girl, she said, you always have to thank God because it's because of him you're standing in front of us. So that's just something that I do before I start. The poem that I'm going to share with you today is by Langston Hughes, and he's one of my favorites. He was born in February 1st, 1901, and he passed away May 22nd, 1967. He's a Black poet. He's an activist, a novelist, a playwright. He has done many, many things, and he's one of my favorites. And his poetry, it's been known to be like jazz. It's kind of smooth, it's kind of up, and it's kind of down. The poem is entitled The Negro Mother, and that's what I will share with you this evening. Children, I've come back today to tell you a story of a long, long, dark way that I had to climb and that I had to know in order that my race may live and grow. Look at my face, dark as the night, yet shines like the love's sun's true light. I am a child they stole from the sand 300 years from Africa's land. I am a dark girl who's crossed the wide, wide sea, carrying in my body a seed to be free. I am a woman who's worked the fields, bringing the cotton and corn to yield. I am one who's labored as a slave, beaten and mistreated for the work that I gave. My children stole away from me. My husband sold too. No safety, no love, no respect was I due. But 300 years in the deepest of the South, God put a song and a prayer in my mouth. God put a dream like steel in my soul. And now, through my children, I'm reaching my goal. Now, through my children, young and free, I realize the blessings denied to me. I had nothing. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I had nothing back there in the dark, dark night. Sometimes my valley was full of tears, but I kept on going through my lonely, lonely years. Sometimes the road was hot with sun, but I had to keep on. I had to keep on. Because there was no stopping for me. I had only hope then. But now through you, dark ones of today, my dreams must come true. Deep in the breast of the Negro mother, I had only hope then, but now through you, dark ones of today, my dreams must come true. Remember the sweat, the pain, the despair. Remember my years heavy with sorrow, and make of your years a torch for tomorrow. Make of my past a road of your light, out of the darkness, the ignorance, the night. Lift high a banner out of the dust, and stand like a free man supporting my trust. Believe in the right and let none push you back. Remember the whip, the slave tracks. Remember how strong I struggle in strife, still bar you way and deny you life. But march ever forward, breaking down bars, look ever upward at the sun and the stars. Oh, my dark children in the world out there, may my dreams and my prayers impel upon you forever up the great stairs. For I will be with you until no white brother dare keep down the children of the Negro mother.
Thank you, Miss Dawn. I told you you'd love her. She's great. She's fantastic. Try your best not to look behind me at what's happening. We're having a little bit of a scene change. But while that's happening, I would like to welcome to the platform Miss Sherry Baber. Sherry is the founder of a wonderful organization called Brown Like Me. So Miss Sherry, come on up. Everybody give Miss Sherry a welcome. Miss Sherry has quickly become one of my favorite people in the Treasure Valley, and so she's going to tell you really quick about Brown Like Me, why you decided to start it, how God tugged at your heart to create this organization, and then you can feel free to introduce them as they get ready to come on stage.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Like I said, my name is Sherry Baber, and I'm the founder of Brown Like Me Mentorship Program. First and foremost, I'd just like to say that if he gave you something, do it. Just do it. Even if you don't think you're equipped to do it, even if you don't think, whatever. If he gave it to you, he's going to equip you with everything you need to make it happen, every single thing. When Brown Like Me started, I actually started Brown Like Me from behind my chair on an accident. I'm a hairdresser, and I service a lot of kids, African-American children who are adopted into white homes. And just in those conversations, and I've been doing this a long time, I got to see adoptees come from little and all the way up to adults, and I did their hair the whole time. And just hearing the stories of isolation and not feeling like they are apart and not seeing enough people who look like them, and God put it in my spirit and said, you got 4,000 clients, like you could put together a whole program just with the little people that you know. And that's what happened. I got together with some of the parents and I said, these kids need to see some connection to their culture. Mirror image is important. And a lot of the kids, the only African American they ever saw was me, and only when they were getting their hair done. And it was a lonely place. This is the thing that changed everything. A little girl was sitting in my chair, and I've been doing her hair for a while, and she said, Miss Sherry, I'm going to a birthday party. I said, cool. We're going to make you look good for the birthday party. I'm going to do your hair, and you're going to look so good. And she said, Miss Sherry, I'm the only brown girl at all the birthday parties. I said, that's okay, baby, because you're special. You're beautiful, and God made you, and it's okay. And she turned around in my chair, 7 years old, looked in my face and said, Miss Sherry, I'm the only brown girl at my own birthday party. That changed me forever, because it shouldn't be like that. Like, we should make it happen. And so Brown Like Me was formed, and I'm telling you, it has been a life-changing experience. I just wanted to have birthday parties. I just wanted the kids to have other brown people at a birthday party. That's all I wanted. But God had so much more, so very much more. We've created a community for white parents who have adopted black children, a place where these kids can come and make organic relationships. I didn't want them to be friends with each other just because we we all black. That's not what I wanted them to see each other enough to really grow organic friendships with other people who look like them. So I'm gonna give them, because I can talk all day about brown like me. But Ryan said a short story, so that's my short story. But I want to leave with you for Black History Month. Look at some of your pictures on your phone. If everybody in your social circle looks exactly like you, we got some work to do. If the kid that you are raising or the child that's in your house and they're the only person in that house that looks like them and you're not doing anything to make that different, you're doing that kid a disservice. So find brown like me. Sorry.
So will you help us welcome, coming onto the stage and actually here for the next little bit, there are two groups that have been birthed out of Brown Like Me. The first group is the Makata Dancers. Please welcome them.
Anachukua, anaweka wa le général da. Anachukua, anaweka wa le général Dangote. Anachukua, anaweka wa le grand Mobao. Anachukua, anaweka wa bosi ya mboka. Anachukua, anaweka wa
Taramu kupendwa nawe, taramu nasikia, tamu kupendwa nawe. Tamu kupendwa nawe, tamu kupendwa nawe. Kwa maneno tumeyazoea, vijineno neno tushazoea. Mpenzi wangu mubaya, kwani naosu shepu yake mbaya hivi naosu mtangaji malaya na wabusu nini wamegusa babaya na makavu lazima wachuchume wameingia cha kike wameingia cha kike cha kike wameingia cha kike kwa penzi letu lazima wachuchume kwa penzi letu cha kike
Makokote, Abutale, Don Mendes, Bajuni, H. Bajuni.
Chumbani enesi, unipatie panado, kujenga za Messi, na mashuti ya Ronaldo, yani ndani nikiingia tu.
Anachukua, anaweka wa
Kwenye gari,
anachukua, anaweka
iwe jikoni au varandani.
anachukua, anaweka wa
Doze,
anachukua, anaweka
yani Dar es Salaam joto, toale soji pepe. Oya Kongo joto, toale soji pepe. Oye Mose Kunambi, Ricardo Momo, oya Mama Dangote, ndo nifumbwe. Chu, chu, chipepe, chu, 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 chipepe. Yani chu, chu, chipepe, chu, 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 chipepe.
Joseph Berthier, Kaya Moucha, Papa mobimba yeah, Papa mobimba yeah, Papa mobimba yeah, Papa mobimba. Anyata katura kukakate alobakate. Sibaye, yes, choisi matata. Chuma, 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 chuma. Akukakate alinga katura alobakate. Sukuma, yes. Adolphe Mutebati la mouina. Papa Mazuma.
Joseph Koussana,
la Baba Mazuma, Zodoa, Angeli Mazuma, Dar es Salaam Mazuma,
Anko Sham,
Diamond Mazuma, Kinshasa Mazuma,
Kaya Musha,
Mazuma,
Kamamfouama.
Usiniguse, usinitachi, tusalimiane kwa miguu. Usiniguse, usinitachi, tusalimiane kwa miguu. Onasema usiniguse, usinitachi, salamu iwe kwa miguu. Usiniguse, usinitachi, tusalimiane kwa miguu. Kwanza kambali, corona,
Kosimbate,
corona. Kwanza kona ogopa, corona.
Kusana musika,
corona. Tena vaa maski, corona.
2 metres,
corona. Mikono ya kokosha, corona.
Del Pigo, Saint James,
Titi Stone Nike.
Idi Santos. Today is today. The boss, the boss, the boss. On vous a parlé de nos deals. On vous a parlé de nos fortunes. Yeah, mon pao, mon konzi. Salam alaikum, inaka bien, bouchaka bien, inaka bien. Salam alaikum, bouchaka bien, salam alaikum, bougez bien.
I'll see you. I think I'm really loud. I don't know if I should use the speaker. I don't really know how to use a microphone. So. Like, can I just talk? Can you guys hear me? Wow. Okay, my name is Joetta, and this is Bernadette. We are the captains of the Makaitas dancers. Oh, there's the other group. I was aware that you guys can go over there. So the Makaitas Dancer are an African dance group in Boise. I started this dance group because when I was growing up in a camp, that was like my positive way of seeing life, so I used to dance a lot. And so when I came here, I was like, it would be a great idea for me to start something, like take my talent and turn it into something good and, form a program for youth, young girls from the age of what, 8, is it 8 to what, 18? 10, yep, 10 to, Lord knows who, but I mean, my sister is still there, she's 20, so we don't know yet, we're deciding. The group is like a little family, to be honest, coming from the girls, they've told me, it's like a little family where it's like a open space that is safe for them to talk about whatever they want and a place for them to release stress, even though sometimes the dance are stressful, but you don't tell the parents that. Other than that, it's just, I enjoy doing what I do, and my partner, Bernadette, I mean, she's been with me for a long time, so I think she likes me, so we're good. That's what's important, right? Oh, wow! No. So the Makaitas dancers are gonna come up for the second performance, and the song is called Wale Wale. And Wale Wale was the very first song that I, what is it, choreographed? One of those words. Choreographed before I started the dance team, and Wale Wale is about bringing people together and giving people opportunities that don't have it when you have it. So like instead of, I don't want to say greedy, so let me see. I'm gonna say greedy. So it's like if you have a talent, if you have something and you're able to extend a hand to somebody else, that's what Wale Wale is about. Like we come together as a community, help each other, and make sure that this life is worth living for. So
That's what they're going to be performing next. Would you please put the volume of the music up? Thank you. They said they would do that.
Show me the way, show me every possibility. Others can plenty, others no opportunity. Show me the way how to live out a calamity. Show me the way how to live better, to live better. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Kikwete, Kenyatta, Kabila, Kagame, wale wale. Wale wale. Kuna wale 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 shabarikiwa na Mungu wale. Wale wale. Wale 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 shapenda zaidi yule yule. Wale wale. Wale wale lelele. Wale lelele. Wale wale lelele. Wale wanala nini? Wale walikupa nini? Wote tunasoma dini. Tell me the way how you maintain your ability. You're lucky to have plenty, others in insanity. Tell me the way how to uplift my community. Tell me the way how to live better, live better. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Nipate maisha mazuri, watoto wasome vizuri, wapate chakula nzuri. Sese kosambuto sabimbe salva kiri sudiri wali. Nayanza go Zibidibo, ulamu mapuka basikido. Wale wale, imebya byoli mamunange toteka mukamiro. Wale wale, kanga mbuta mato banga na munimiro. Wale wale, kamupeti na munange byona zero. Wale wale, show me the way, show me every possibility. Others can plenty, others no opportunity. Show me the way how to live out a calamity. Show me the way how to live better, to live better. Africa yetu, tusaidie wetu. Watu ni yo watu, na sisi ni watu. Rachisi bandeno betu, kufuo omuleletu. Bange omuleletu, wida bantu bange. Unono muleletu, chogerani na betu. Everyone dedetu. Sawa. Sawa. Producer K.
Give them another round of applause. was hoping they were going to give us a quick dance lesson. But I guess not. That's okay. Hey, side note, it's okay to cheer and clap and, woo, yeah, like, I believe in you. Well, we are going to do another quick transition. Some of the kids that were in this first performing group were actually in the second performing group, and so they need just a quick second to do a costume change. But as they do, we're going to have a moment of another spoken word. Rachel, where did you go? Right? Oh, come on up. Please welcome Rachel D. I sent her a text message and said, I'm just going to call you Rachel D because I did not want to mess up the pronunciation of her last name because it's 4 syllables? Diakianis. Say that 3 times fast. There you go. So will you please welcome this very talented young lady, Rachel Diankis.
I wrote this poem specifically for this event. It's titled Black History Month, and it goes into what Black history is and what it means to the Black community. By definition, Black History Month, emplaced in 1926, celebrates the rich cultural heritage, triumphs, and adversities that are an undeniable part of our country's history. Did you catch that? Emplaced in 1926, Black history celebrates the rich cultural heritage, triumphs, and adversities that are an undeniable part of our country's history. And just like that, within one sentence, they do it again. They steal what's ours and make it about them. Black history is not about the country, it's about the people. Our people, past and present, a representation of the heritage and experience of the Black community. And I'll probably let my anger get the best of me, but the system really be testing me. They give us a month, the shortest one at that, and expect no clapback. Land of the free, home of the brave, they say, but the freedom isn't really free. At least not for people like me. This regression makes me question. This system is systemic, spreading like an epidemic. You say we resist, but the truth is you're scared. Because although the odds are stacked against us, we persist. We will not be silenced, rather we look to our ancestors for guidance, because when it came to rights, they knew what was civil. When this nation wanted us to shrivel, the Black community created a ripple in society that is Black history. Something the education system refuses to address as it's uncomplimentary to their white country. As a matter of fact, since the American system wants to compress it, let me just address it. I've got 4 minutes of poem and a generation of triumph. Let me take you back to the 17th century. Kidnapped from our origins, ancestry, forced into slavery, governed on the American colonies, exploited and restricted, suffering through the pain they inflicted. Half a century we endured, our people singing their sorrow song as they stayed strong. 1775, Patrick Henry said, "You give me liberty or give me death." But these were the words my people cried long before the revolution. And with nowhere left to turn, we rose and fought back. Voices overtaken by oppression, Martin Luther declared he had a dream. Shackled by slavery, Harriet Tubman made 13 missions. Addressing social issues, Billie Holiday sang her truth. Changing the course of the Civil War, Mary Jane spied on the Confederates. Taking a stand for civil rights, Rosa Parks sat down. Fighting for integration and Black voter registration, Medgar Evers and Herbert Lee lost their life. In the struggle for civil liberties, Bill Traylor picked up his paintbrush, and capturing the essence of freedom, Gordon Parks reflected social wrongs. Challenging the education system, Ruby Bridges walked through the doors of William Franz Elementary School. These folks, among many others, challenged the repressions we faced. The system was meant to be our demise, but nevertheless, we rise. Black history is not the sorrow of the past, but the triumphs of today's present. And in the wise words of Dinos, I say, the system tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. The past is Black history. The present is Black history. We are Black history.
Yeah, you were right. Rachel, you are a gift. So, I'm a pastor, and you're here in a sanctuary. And so two things will happen here in a little bit. One, also because we're Nazarene, usually when we gather, there's always refreshment and treats. And so at the conclusion of the evening, we do invite you out into the atrium where there will be some light refreshment, as well as, again, visiting several of the artists that have brought their artwork on display. You really want to see that. Sorry, I'm a little emotional. I also want to take a moment and say a special thank you to our senior pastor, my boss, Scott Daniels, who gives us the capacity to dream big. I try to never take for granted the gift it is to partner with him in ministry and to study under him. And so thank you for, yes. I also want to say a special thank you to my wife, Ashley, who has to hear the crazy dreams that I come up with at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she endures it quite a bit, and I could not imagine doing life without her and our children, so thank you. So back to me saying that I'm a pastor and we're in a sanctuary and you're gathered and we're going to have refreshments, but also at the end, we are going to receive an offering. And so I am helping you stall just a little bit to make sure or to confirm with your neighbor that you did indeed bring some form of money or a checkbook or cash or something like that. Yeah, look, she even brought an offering plate. These types of events don't happen, they can happen for free, but there is always a little bit of an expense. But also, too, we want to give back to the community. And so a lot of the offering that will be received tonight will go toward Brown Like Me and for their continued endeavors for what they do. Surprise. Because we love you, Miss Sherry, and we believe in the work that God has called you to and how you care and love for so many children and their family. And so you can, there will be people at the doors at the end of the concert where you can drop your money there, or if you are tech savvy, you can go to nampacollegechurch.com, and there is a link that says give, and you can donate thousands of dollars there if you're laughing, but I was serious. You can just click on the Give tab, and there's a line that says Other. You can write Brown Like Me, or you can write Black History Month, or Lift Every Voice, and the people in the office will know how to designate that money to them. And so, are they ready? Do I have the tap? No? Oh, man. Well, since I am a pastor, let's stand together real quick. We're waiting for the other half of our, really seriously, I want you to stand. Here's what we want you to do. I want you to turn around and take a moment and introduce yourself to somebody behind you or next to you. Share the peace of Christ with somebody. Good. Thank you. We can use this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all of God's people said, you may be seated. Now, I will say this. All of this wonderful vocal energy that you just produced in these last minutes, it is okay to use that same vocal energy. And please welcome the Brown Like Me step team and their coach, Mr. Kevin Archangel.
Thanks, sir. Glad to have you together. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. So once more, we are the Brown Like Me step team. My name is Kevin Archangel. I'm a graduate of San Diego State University. And first and foremost, man, what a beautiful building. I mean, this is a church. And for me, I didn't go to church today on Sunday. And, I had a song with the kids. It was like, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. All will sing how, there it is, how great is, ooh, that was a test. So now that I know you guys are an interactive crowd, we're going to have some fun today. You guys fell for the trap. You fell for the trap. So once more, Kevin Archangel, I'm a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated from San Diego State University. This is the Brown Like Me Steppers, the inaugural class of spring 2022. Now, for those of you who don't know what stepping is, it originates from Africa. And it comes from stepping originates from Africa. It stems from the gumboot miners, in which they used this as form of communications during their time of bondage. Now, it made its way to the U.S. and the 40s, the 50s, a little around the World War I and II eras. So, it became a military drill performances predominantly within the historically African American fraternities and sororities, otherwise known as the National Panhellenic Council or the Divine Nine. Who here is a member of a Greek organization? Anyone in college? Okay, a few of you. Now, just to give you once more, this is the class of spring 2022. Once more, stepping comes from Africa. From who? Now, I'm sure Ryan has mentioned this wonderful name 1,000 times, but we always give credit to our founder, Miss Sherry. Because without her, we would not be here today. So once more, Miss Sherry, thank you. All right. Now, y'all ready for a show? Hold up. Y'all was singing with me earlier. Are y'all ready for a show? Yeah, we're a loud group. Are y'all ready for a show? All right, one second. Kids, y'all ready? Yes, y'all ready? Yes. Nah. Kids, y'all ready? Yes. Y'all ready? Yes. Okay, I think they ready. Well, brown like me, brown like me, brown like me. Once more, stepping comes from Africa, so with this step, we call it the Africa step. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. B-L-M, step. All right. But I just got to share some bad news with you guys. They've been practicing for about 5-6 weeks, and I know they're a little bit better than that. So, kids, y'all try and speed it up? Yes, sir. All right, here we go. B-L-M, step. At ease, kids, because once more, throughout your 5 to 6 weeks experience, you guys learned a couple of things, right? Yes, sir. Right. So, throughout this program, we adopted the model of Achieve to Believe. And so through our model, Achieve to Believe, we use this as a form of encouragement amongst our class. If you set your mind to it, you can achieve it as long as you believe it. So, Achieve to Believe. All right. Also, there were some people, some individuals with some challenges. They said, this is too tough. This is too hard. Coach, I'm too cool for this. I ain't trying to be here right now. I didn't get enough sleep. We would go every practice asking them, what time did you go to bed? What time did you wake up? I didn't even know they was drinking coffee. I couldn't drink coffee till I was 17. Come on now. But we adopted this other thing. We said, what are excuses? Excuses are the tools of the weak and incompetent. That means we make no excuses around these parts, right? Because if we achieve to believe and there's no excuses, then anything we can do is possible. That just means we just need a little extra accountability. Now, once more, they've been practicing for a while. So, I like a little complexity in my steps, and I don't know about y'all, but just move. Just move. Just So, anytime we face any challenges in our life, all we have to remind ourselves is just move. Not Ludacris song, but this right here, just move. Okay, cool. We're in the church, remember that. All right. So, I'm gonna just do this real quick. Get to your corners. Just get to your corners, get to your corners, get to your corners. Because now it's time for the final showdown. So, for those who don't know in the audience, there's been some drama in Brown Like Me. Ooh, wow, OMG. Apparently, this side is 12 and up, and this side is 11 and below. I call these the little kids versus the big kids or the teens. What is the assumption you think about the teens? What y'all think? They're cool. They're probably the more disciplined group and probably led by example throughout the whole time, right? Well, that turned out to be these guys. Right? But the teenagers are cool. So we had a little battle between the big kids versus the little kids, and we constantly went back and forth. So this next step is gonna showcase a little bit of a battle, okay? So I'm gonna ask for some participation later, whether it's for the little kids or the big kids. Y'all with me? However, before we get there, y'all was an interactive crowd with me, right? You sung How Great Is Our God, right? So I assume you can clap a little. You guys know how to walk, and you might have a little rhythm if you can two-step, a little something. So, before I sick them on you guys, I'm gonna ask for a couple of volunteers. Please don't make me sick them on you. I just need about 5 to 7. Just step on forward to the front of the crowd. Come on, don't be shy. I'm not asking for an offering. Just come here. We got a little activity. Come on, I'm gonna give you guys about 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, you guys are being a little shy. 6, 5. Uh-oh. Come on. I know there's some older individuals. 4. Okay. Okay. See, I'm going to ask for about 3 or 4 more parents because I have enough little kids, but I don't have enough big kids. So can I have some parents out there? Uh-oh, here they come. All right, all right. I think we got our crowd here today. So I'm going to ask you guys, my steppers, just to give them a little example. So my volunteers, you're going to come on this first row. Yeah, you guys didn't hear me. You guys are going to come on the first row here. And I want everyone to focus on the stage. Yeah, because we're choosing sides, all right? So kids, my class of 2022, can we show them how this next step goes, okay? It starts with a stomp, clap, under, then drop. One more time, stomp, clap, under, then drop. Last time, stomp, clap, under, then drop. Simple, right? Fairly simple. Now, for those who may have seen, any new volunteers? Anyone feeling a little courageous? Come on now. Come on. No? Okay. Just saying. There might be a prize. Just saying. Y'all saw some gifts out there. Give me guys one final chance. 5, 4. Sir, I saw you get. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Big kid side. I saw some of you getting out of your chair. I saw a gentleman specifically in a white shirt preparing to lean up, but he held his position. He knows who I'm talking to. Anyways, so once more, you're going to stomp on your right foot, okay? Bring your left up and clap. Under, drop. So you guys are going to do it 3 times. They're going to do it 3 times. Simple, right? Now listen to me. If I say, brown like me, you bring your right foot in, hands at your waist. That's the first time. If I say brown like me, a second time, you stomp on your right foot again. If I say brown like me, 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So brown like me the first time is 1 foot, feet together, hands at your waist. The second time, stomp on your right. The third time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, you guys, wow. You might be my class of 2023. just might. All right, you guys ready? At ease, relax, get some space. You see them in one line? You guys get in one line as well. Don't let them show you guys up. You guys are gonna win this, I know it. Okay, here we go. Everyone ready? All right, crowd. Little kids winning, make some noise. Oh, okay. Now the big kids, make some noise. See, my money's going over here. If I was a gambling man, if. All right, here we go. Brown like me? Okay, good. Brown like me? Okay, good. Ooh, too many steps, just one. Here we go, last time. Brown like me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. You guys are ready now.